A post doing the rounds on social media suggests not a single speed camera in Johannesburg is currently working. Apparently, a tender to repair or supply speed cameras in the city closed earlier this month, and it'll be some time before the issue is resolved. Well, let's talk to Xolani Fihla, who is the spokesperson for the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department. Xolani, thank you so much for joining us. Is it true?
Good evening, Sally. Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, we can confirm that the city of Johannesburg hasn't been conducting speed prosecutions or processing of fines, and this is due to not having a service provider to assist with speed equipment and the processing of fines because of those contractual obligations that you mentioned here.
How long have our speed cameras in the city been out of action?
The contract with the previous service provider had ended on the 31st of May last year. And currently what I can tell you is that the contract is being evaluated, and hopefully by July there should be a contract and a service provider so that we can resume with our speed enforcement.
So it's been almost a year since Johannesburg had working speed cameras?
Yes, that is true, Sally.
How many speed cameras do we have?
No, we do have numerous, especially in hotspots where fatal or serious accidents have been encountered, and that's usually on the M1, on the N1, and also within our municipal roads in the city of Johannesburg. So there are numerous cameras which were being used.
Yes, but they're not working at the moment, right?
Yes, that we can confirm.
So how many cameras in total are out? How many cameras do you have in the city of Joburg that are not working?
At the moment, it's all cameras that are processed by the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department. At this very moment, I can't give you an exact number, but all speed prosecutions within the city have halted since the 31st of May.
I mean, that must be costing the city a lot in lost revenue. Any idea of how much you have lost in potential revenue?
No, that's true, Sally. What I can say that the city is losing millions of rands due to not collecting revenue from the speed fines. And when calculated before the speed contract ended, the city used to make approximately 3 million rands per month from revenue collected from speed fines. But it's also important to note that even though there are revenue gains or losses, in this instance, when enforcing speed limits and laws, the purpose of a speed prosecution is to reduce fatal and serious road accidents, and that's by correcting the lawlessness whereby people disregard the traffic laws. And hopefully, in turn, this improves driver compliance, because we know that with driver behaviors, just like reckless and negligent driving and driving under the influence of alcohol, speeding is one of the major causes of fatal or serious accidents on our roads. So that has been a real big concern.
Yeah, so obviously the loss of revenue, at least 36 million in the past year, that Joburg's speed cameras have not been working or in that region. But as you say, more importantly, how are you keeping a lid on people speeding on Joburg roads? Have you increased the presence of cops monitoring? Or when you talk about speed cameras, are you also talking about those handheld monitors that are also not working? Or is that still available to check speedsters?
That's also not working. It's the automated cameras and also the manual cameras. They're not working. But what has been done is that officers who are working within the speed unit have been deployed in the regions and within other departments and directorates within the JMPD. So there's more visible policing, especially monitoring for moving violations. And of course, handwritten fines are still being issued.
But handwritten fines not for speeding, though, because you can't check speeds, am I right?
Definitely, that's correct, Sally.
When is it going to be fixed?
Hopefully, the contract currently is being evaluated, so hopefully by July we should be having a new service provider so that we can resume with our enforcement of the speed laws and speed limits.
This is a massive a massive mess, because it's not just the loss of revenue, it's the fact that it's very difficult now to monitor people who are speeding on Johannesburg's roads, because you don't have any of the cameras, handheld or those, I would imagine, that are in a stationary position. Who messed up?
Honestly, I can't tell. With coming to policies and the contractual obligations, and how the contract has ended, and with the new service provider or the old service provider, that personally I can't tell you. But as you did say, Sally, that is hitting hard in the revenue of the city, and also when it comes to road safety within the city of Johannesburg.
All right, so you can't say who's responsible. Can you tell us who exactly it falls under? Which department does it fall under? Olani Fihla, it seems the picture has frozen, but he has been very frank with us about the problems of our speed cameras here in Johannesburg. They simply aren't working, haven't been working for nearly a year, and they might be working by June, probably costing us untold number of accidents and in speeding-related accidents, and at least around 36 million rand in lost revenue.